Welcome to ECNTRADE Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration.
Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you for joining me. The Australian dollar sinks lower in the overnight session and now tackling the level of 64.20. It was the call yesterday, now reached its objective. The market is attempting to try and rebound after the Australian Bureau of Statistics released the figures this morning to the unemployment, which revealed 594,300 jobs were lost in April. This seeing the unemployment rate jumping to 6.2% from the previous 5.2%. From the figures, the market is holding to a bearish stance, and therefore I do expect to see the level taken out at 64.20 and seeing a lower move down towards 63.75 to 63.20.35, where this 60-day moving average is. But the technical implications from the RSI and the MACD also support my view. Well, yesterday my view was for a move up towards the level of 108.90.95. Now that was the high because we got a rejection from there and the market is now turned back towards the downside of 107.35 to 55. Reassess from there as we could be looking lower to 106.35 to 50. As the US dollar index, which measures the greenback strength against a basket of 6 major currencies, has recaptured the 100 handle and could see further traction towards the upside. Therefore, this will put further pressure on the euro and eventually reach its target of 107.35 to 55 and reassess from there in case we can go lower. Well, it seems that safe haven demand has come back into play after the overnight comments from Fed Chairman Powell, who has pretty much put the jitters back into the market after saying that the COVID-19 crisis may last in a longer term and warning that the prolonged recession and weak recovery could lead to an extended period of low productivity, growth and stagnant incomes. Also to the fact, White House medical advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci has said that has told the Senate, the Health and Education Committee, that if the United States reopens the economy too soon, there is a real risk that you may trigger an outbreak to something from a view that may not be controlled, in which could see a setback, not only leading to certain suffering of deaths, that is from the coronavirus, but also to the fact is it will probably not ignite the US economy. Stock market did sell off on the back of that as well. So with safe haven slightly coming back into play again, yen strengthened overnight and now closed underneath 107. From that view is that I've reinstated the downside to 105 figure 40, which I've been calling now for some time, and I do expect to see this eventually being reached. Since the rejection of 124, the pound has suffered further losses overnight and now posts a low of 122.03. It is suggested that we're getting very close to the target of 121.60.80. We're only like 20 or 30 points away from this morning's challenge. I would advise to continue to monitor your stop losses and adjust your take profit accordingly to your risk management, just in case we do get a rejection. But with the ADX strengthening, and also the fact is the MACD is also supporting this downward case, let's see what happens around 121.60 in case we go lower. But as I mentioned, do continue to monitor your positions. Little to say to dollar CAD as it still continues to play within a 138.5 to 142 band. And with this noise that we're seeing here, I can only say that there's a bull trap possibly slowly emerging above 141. That would see a rejection from there and look back to the downside. So with the safe haven demand coming back has given a little bit of life to gold. I am still a little bit cautious as the market churns over the levels of 1,690 and around 1,715. You can see here the market is continuing to trade sideways and lacking support to a bullish case. However, if we do see further safe haven demand, then we could see the rise back up towards 1822 to 36 or maybe to 48 to 52, which was the previous target. But I still question in how strong the rally will be on or any advance. So let's see how that plays. Wrapping up with oil, there's little to say there. The market consolidates now for the last 7 days and likely to continue to. I do expect to see a pullback, so let's see how that plays. Well, that wraps it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day that's ahead of you.